Of every major company in the transportation industry, only one has managed to turn the word logistics into a household term: United Parcel Service. Slogans such as "What can Brown do for you?" and "We love logistics" have brought the concept of logistics into a limelight never before imagined. Efficiency of movement, efficiency of processes, these are ideas that 20 to 30 years ago were still in their infancy. What is less realized now, yet is ever more important, is the role that logistics serves within the greater supply chain. Supply chain management and logistics are often thought to be synonymous of one another, but they are in fact two very different ideas. However, UPS, whether by their own merit or the momentum of the industry, has married these two ideas into a singular platform. What can Brown do for you? Well, for a price, they can do a lot. My name is Nicholas Pender, and today I'm going to report on the various elements that make UPS what it is today, and where it may be going into the future. A little bit about me: I'm a supply chain and logistics management student at Bellevue University. This presentation is part of a Capstone project which focuses on core supply chain and logistics concepts through the lens of a major company for our choosing in the industry. While I'm no expert in the inner workings of UPS, I selected this company for my capstone because of its prowess in the industry and felt there would be a lot to learn from studying a well-known logistics provider. I've conducted thorough research on UPS, and it's my belief that this presentation will leave you better versed on the company. To develop a foundational understanding of UPS, this capstone presentation will cover the history of the company. This will show how over the years UPS has steered to a comfortable niche in the supply chain. Steering the company with are the corporate heads, whose organizational structure will also be analyzed through a strengths and weaknesses perspective. Reflecting the overall wellness of the company, UPS's financials will also be discussed in detail, complete with the financial ratios and their calculations. Understanding UPS's financials will help show how UPS can be so powerful, having a vast global impact on which will also be examined in this presentation. Being a widespread company, UPS inadvertently exposes itself to a number of issues, a few of these will also be discussed. How UPS manages these issues reflects on the company's image, and as such, we will also explore how UPS's image is portrayed to the public. Finally, I will conclude this presentation with a recap highlighting key points, and close with remarks on future considerations for UPS. UPS was founded by two Seattle native teenagers, Cloud Ryan and Jim Casey. With a $100 loan, the pair created what was then called American Messenger Company. Adapting to technological developments in the telephone and automobile over the years, their name changed to Merchant Parcel Delivery with the partnership of Everett McCabe's Package Delivery Company and the acquisition of motorcycles and Ford Model Ts. Their partnership with Charlie Soderstrom equipped the company with a formidable automobile fleet, and in 1919 the company finally took on the name United Parcel Service as part of their expansion to Oakland. Throughout the 20th century, technological advancements such as conveyor belt systems, package handling facilities, and air delivery services were adopted, and then abruptly halted by the Depression era and World War II. These periods were but a minor setback for the company, as air services were brought back in 1953 and grew further through the remainder of the century. The 70s sparked a period of international expansion, with acquisitions initially enabling shipments to Canada and Germany, then to the rest of Europe and even the Middle East, Africa, and the Pacific. With approval by the FAA, UPS Airlines was then established in 1988 to solidify their role in these regions. In 1995, technology again brought the next shift in UPS's evolution, leveraging the emergence of e-commerce with shipment tracking technology to empower customers with real-time shipping data. And UPS wouldn't be what it is today without the creation of UPS Supply Chain Solutions. A product of the 2000s, it merged all of UPS's services, transportation, finance, and information under one umbrella. UPS markets themselves as a logistics powerhouse. To understand where UPS fits into the supply chain, it must first be understood where logistics fits into supply chain management. As I stated earlier, the roles of supply chain management and logistics can oftentimes be confused. Take a look at this diagram. Logistics is actually an internal function of a company's operations management. At the heart of operations management lays three domains: logistics, marketing, and production. Together, the three domains work in sync to create a functioning firm. Herein rests the limitations of these domains: to operate exclusively within the firm. What the supply chain provides is a means of interacting with external entities, such as other firms, suppliers, and customers. This is where UPS fits into the supply chain. In essence, UPS is blurring the lines of operations management by filling the logistical, technological, and financial needs of their customers with the UPS Supply Chain Solutions program. This business model has proved desirable worldwide. Recently, UPS was hired by the Vietnam-Japan Human Resource Cooperation Center to train Vietnam's small to medium-sized enterprises in effective supply chain practices. In doing so, UPS is acting as a vector for globalization. They're selling the idea of an interconnected global market and providing the tools necessary to make it happen. Being able to sell such an idea requires a strong corporate image in the supply chain world, and portraying that image requires firm leadership. UPS operates a lot like the military. UPS's founder even said he wanted to run the company like a military operation, ordering recruits to be polite at all times and to place speed above all other virtues. The basic military structure, strategic, operational, and tactical, is the perfect framework for a global organization intent on streamlining decision-making processes. Starting from the top, UPS's strategic tier is comprised of two elements. They have a management committee and a board of directors. For their next tier, operational, UPS wavers from the traditional line of military thinking. In fact, they make their operational decisions all the way at the top in the management committee, rather than have those responsibilities divvied up by function and region. Furthermore, UPS's air and ground operations are merged into a centralized system for ease of management. From a tactical standpoint, UPS empowers regional sectors to get the job done. Ed Rogers, UPS's corporate strategy group's strategic planning manager, states UPS does tactical rather than strategic planning at the regional level. There is a clear line between strategy and execution since the regions focus on delivering on the next quarter's business. UPS's greatest strength is most certainly in their vast network, utilizing centralization to place decision-making power with the management committee. However, some board observers see this strength as a weakness, stating what's best for one region could easily foul things for another. There are opportunities for UPS to allow regions to become more autonomous and disperse human resource member responsibilities across the European, U.S., and Asia-Pacific regions. Even then, this would not address the greatest threat to UPS, and that is the organizational superior FedEx with their separated FedEx Ground and FedEx Air entities. As long as UPS insists on marrying their ground and air operations, there will always be an overlap and redundancies in peak delivery times. While UPS may not be making the best organizational decisions, they certainly are making good financial ones. In understanding UPS's profitability, it's necessary to first understand its debt, in other words, solvency. The best measure for this is in the current ratio. Taking UPS's current assets, $11,808,000,000, and dividing it by their current liabilities of $8,639,000,000, the current ratio is 1.37, going above and beyond the transportation logistics industry average of 1.25. UPS appears to be healthy in this category. UPS is also an extremely efficient company with an asset turnover rate of 164%, a astronomically better than the 36% industry average. Their stockholders are happy as well, reporting a dividends yield of 2.5%, outpacing the industry average of 1.99%. The two main issues facing UPS right now are competition in the last mile and diversity and inclusion initiatives. Increased mobility via smartphones and other connected devices have driven consumers to new delivery upstart services, Postmates, Amazon Prime same-day delivery, and Uber Rush. Uber is pursuing deliveries through crowdsourcing, employing bicyclists and taxi drivers to move packages. Amazon is the bigger threat, applying a retailer mindset to develop their own delivery services, complete with delivery vans and a network to match. In 2013, they also announced the pursuit of one of the most efficient and exciting transportation technologies available: drone deliveries. On the topic of inclusion, in April this year, UPS's own Alan Gershenhorn, Chief Commercial Officer, acknowledged inclusion issues and initiatives before an audience of the Hispanic Association on Corporate Responsibility Corporate Executives Forum. In his speech, he cited historical reasons for friction with Hispanics, namely Mexican clients. He went further to admit that diversity among the top positions at UPS is still a long shot. In his own words, Gershenhorn states, "If I were to give us a grade right now, it would be an incomplete." In the comments section of my report card, I would start with the fact that we were a bit late to the game. Dealing with technological shifts and inclusiveness issues can take a toll on a company's image, but UPS takes an aggressive stance on this with public relations. George Root of Cron.com lays out 10 principles for a successful PR campaign: avoiding deceit, making contact information available, target your campaign, use photographs, have good media relations, use your tools effectively, use timing to your advantage, be available for questioning, stay active in PR campaigns at all times, and continuously fact-check information before it gets released. UPS checks off a number of items on this list with their UPS Press Room website alone. They've had 60 press releases in the past 60 days, averaging a daily press coverage of 100%. They also allow access to a historical database of speech transcripts, case studies, fact sheets, and alternative media, such as videos, audio clips, and podcasts. UPS has faced a couple of PR situations recently, both concerning employee discrimination cases, one for a Muslim employee and the other for a pregnant employee. Neither of these cases show up on UPS's website, indicating a selective PR practice. But overall, the company does well at portraying a positive company image. In conclusion, this capstone presentation briefly touched on a number of aspects about UPS. We glanced at UPS's past, appreciating the efforts taken to get where they are today. It's taken a military mindset to tackle the immensity of UPS's scope and of responsibilities in the logistics and transportation industry, requiring a centralized organizational structure of which we weighed the pros and cons. We also observed 3 of UPS's key financial data points: their asset turnover rate of 164%, their dividends yield outcome of 2.5, and their current ratio of 1.37. Financial strength has given UPS the edge to corner the global logistics market, as evidenced in their presence in over 220 countries and noted in their supply chain management training initiatives in Vietnam. We highlighted UPS's greatest upcoming challenges, taking on last-mile delivery entrants and what will end up being a technological battleground in drone delivery tactics. They do face more tangible human issues in managing inclusiveness, as well as facing legal actions and communicating those issues to the public. As with even the military, change in an organization's structure takes time. UPS has the necessary assets with over 100,000 vehicles and 203 aircraft to keep business moving, but e-commerce is changing the landscape quickly. Whether it is on bicycles or delivery drones, UPS will need to have a definitive answer to these impending challenges.